All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while, but we are live here on Geekly Goods and Novice Cinephile, y'all, to talk CinemaCon 2026. Yo, lots of things to talk about beyond the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Doomsday, Doom Part 3, The Odyssey. I mean, arguably those five right there are like winners of this thing, but there is so much more to talk about between that, Street Fighter. Every single major studio had a panel, and Godzilla Minus Zero also had its own panel, and man, oh man, did it impress. But y'all, I am so excited tonight. Thank y'all for coming through. We started a little late. We appreciate the patience, y'all. And it is my first time live streaming of it, probably, I think, this year. No, it might have been a couple times this year. So I'm a little rusty. Bear with me, y'all, but thank you so much for coming back through. And yo, we're going to be going through every single panel. And by the time we get to the end of the summaries, I'll be kicking it out to my wonderful co-hosts here. They'll be saying whether or not they think it's a winner, a loser, or mixed. And I'm thinking there's going to be quite a few mixed panels here, but y'all let us know down in the comments your thoughts for each panel, because there's a lot, y'all, and we are going to get through it very well. But y'all, let me start bringing in my co-host here. I got my man Mike, Novice Cinephile. What's going on, bro?
You know, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that we got this stream together. We've been talking about it for a while. CinemaCon just felt right, you know? We had so much news to dive into. So thank you again, everybody in chat who was patient while we got the stream set up. There is like 100 movies for us to talk about, so buckle up. It's gonna be
Right, buckle up, y'all. Buckle that seatbelt. And yo, first time on the channel, we got our man Nate. What's going on, man?
Hey, excited to talk CinemaCon. I think we're all nerds here, so we've been like following CinemaCon for years, and now it's really has blown up. I'm personally, you didn't mention maybe my most anticipated.
Oh,
Well, second most anticipated because Disclosure Day, but the Beekeeper 2. I'm pumped.
word? That first Beekeeper was awesome. Yeah, I thought I was alone hearing that because that first Beekeeper was so entertaining.
Nate's the biggest Beekeeper fan that I know.
Yeah.
So. It's great.
That's amazing. We got a quick question here. Somebody asked, when will the Doomsday trailer drop online? No clue. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. Safe bet, I will wait until around Mando and Grogu time. They might even wait until Brand New Day. Even though that's a Sony property, they might still wait until Brand New Day. So I would buckle in and wait till about Mando and Grogu time. They're probably trying to sell tickets to that thing because, I don't know, been a little quiet.
Watch them do like an exclusive, like it's exclusively attached to Mando and Grogu. Because if you saw the box office tracking on that, it's not great.
It's not? What is it?
It's like in the 70s or 80s. It's under Solo. So.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Not great.
I was talking to our friend Didge from Geek Set Podcast, and I'm like, it's hard to sell this to a non-Star Wars fan because when you watch the trailer, you're just like, why wasn't this just another season of Mando? Why do I need to go pay to go see this? You know,
100%.
And so I feel like it's a really tough sell. Like you have to put like Ahsoka or Luke in the trailer or something, something crazy. And yes, we can see your guys' comments. I see that
we got you, Ninja Pro.
We got you. Let us know what you guys think, though. But as far as the Doomsday trailer, I honestly think it is in Marvel's best interest to sit on this thing as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Because for the
100%.
first time in years, there is anticipation and there is excitement, and people are asking, when are we getting the Doomsday trailer? When are we going to see more? What are we going to learn? When are we going to reveal Dr. Doom? It's like, oh, now you have people wanting Marvel again. Everybody thought the MCU was dead. Everybody said nobody cares about these things anymore. It's in your best interest to hold that on all the way up until Spider-Man, I think.
I agree, because then you keep people, like, you keep breadcrumbing people and you keep people like hungry for more and more and more. And then Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out, and if that's as amazing as it's touted to be, which, I mean, Destin Daniel Cretton's on this thing, Tom Holland's loving it, I think it's going to end up being a gem for Marvel. If that's as good as it is, and you have the Doomsday trailer, oh yeah, like they are off to the races with that.
And even like Brand New Day, they waited on that trailer, There's Demand, and then it became the most viewed trailer, I think, ever or something like that. Like, yeah, like it beat
by
GTA
a wide margin
trailer.
too.
Yeah.
by a wide margin too. It
Yeah.
blew GTA 6 off the water. It's crazy.
So
that's crazy. No way. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing started. We'll start with the Sony Pictures panel, kicking things off with the intro of CinemaCon 2026. And I think they've been the intro for like many of them. So first up, they had Spider-Man Brand New Day, got an extended clip shown at the event. Peter follows Ned into a party, sees MJ with her new boyfriend, which is unfortunate. Our boy Peter, so sad to see him have to go through this. Ned thinks Spider-Man is either Flash Thompson or Mr. Harrington, and they also dropped 2 new posters online. These 2 posters are awesome. First off, you got the trilogy of Raimi had a poster like this, and then of course Amazing Spider-Man had a poster like this. So you got a trilogy of posters with the eyes on a close-up shot here. And then we also have Spider-Man taking on the hand. Super cool visual. What an awesome action-packed shot. I think that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most in Brand New Day, besides like the Hulk coming back as Rage Hulk. There's a lot going on there. So that's going to be super fire. They also did some things for Beyond the Spider-Verse. They showed the opening scene, which is set directly after the Across the Spider-Verse with Prowler Miles interrogating Miles. And through that, Spider-Ham is back, Spider-Noir is back, the whole team is back, as well as apparently Kingpin is back. That's really cool to hear. Sony is calling this the final chapter of Miles' story, and they showed new photos from Beyond the Spider-Verse, and man, they look awesome. I mean, you got a set of 4 new photos, and I think one of them is Jeff and Miles, which I think I looked at that when I was like, that to me seems like it might be Prowler Miles, and maybe that's his origin story. Let me see. Oh, my bad. Here we got Miguel versus Miles again there in the corner. We've got Spider-Punk down in the lower left, and then it appears to be a younger version of Jeff and Uncle Aaron there down in the right. Not sure what the context is there. Maybe there's some time travel or something, but we have that as well. There are some other things. They also had Resident Evil movie directed by Zach Kreger, which is going to be fire. I mean, my goodness. Barbarian and Weapons, both gems. And Nate, I'm going to throw to you for that one once we get through this little recap here. There's also a Helldivers movie happening with Jason Momoa, filming in New Zealand soon. Legend of Zelda apparently is finished filming. Not a lot of details there. And then there's this giant robots versus kaiju movie called Grand Gear from the director of Godzilla -1. I didn't even see that news. Like Pacific Rim a little bit. We'll see what's up with that one. But guys, I'm going to go around. Let me know, was Sony a winner, a loser, or mixed? And then what was your favorite announcement from this panel? Starting with you, Nate. What you think?
Okay. I think I'm going to say mixed. Because I like the Beyond the Spider-Verse news. I love the Resident Evil news. Everything else, like, why didn't they bank on Zelda? Why didn't they bank on, they also had, like, I'm excited for Resident Evil, but why did they choose that clip to show at CinemaCon for Brand New Day? Like, at least show, like, some action, even if it's, like, early in the movie. Like, show Peter fighting Tarantula or Boomerang or Scorpion or something. Why would you just have it be him going to, like, a party? Like, I get it. It's, that's the heart of the movie. That's what the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies do so well. I've always loved, this kind of slow building romance between, Peter and MJ. But why are you going to show that? That's not going to get, like, are the theater owners, this is for, like, marketing for the theater owners. Is that going to win them over?
Yeah, I like what you said about showing, like, Spider-Man versus Tarantula. Like, to me, it seems like, just from the trailer, it seems like maybe like the opening of Fantastic Four where you see Mr. Fantastic doing his thing and then you see the other members. It seems like maybe Brand New Day will have a sequence similar to that. Why not show that? Like Fantastic Four, like I remember they showed the exclusive footage they showed at San Diego was that scene, the powers and them going through. I'm like, yeah, show us that. I do think it's a very emotional point in the movie, but I'm with you, man. Like, give us a little bit of meat, a little bit of action. Yeah. Give us a little bit of something to chomp on.
Because it's like, I feel like it felt like such an afterthought. Like, compared to even like, I feel like nobody was talking. Everyone was going in being like, oh, are they going to finally say who Sadie Sink is playing? I'm like, I don't think we're going to get that until we see the actual movie.
Don't think so either.
Like, I think even like with the reviews, I think they're going to hold that embargo tight to avoid the spoilers, just like they did with No Way Home. But still, I kind of expected a little more. And I mean, I'm very excited about Resident Evil. I'm a massive Zach Kreger fan. I remember when like the trailer for Barbarian came out, and my friend was like, "You know, this is directed by Zach from Whitest Kids You Know," and I was like, "What?" Because I'm a massive Whitest Kids You Know fan as well. And then I became like super excited for that movie, and then I saw it, and that was like, I was like alone in that theater with like a bunch of like couples, and all of them were like really uncomfortable, and I was just like laughing, having the time of my life. You know, that was like one of my favorite theater experiences. And then Weapons, I mean, we'll get to more Kreger later, but I'm very excited with everything I've heard about Resident Evil.
Yeah, and it seems like with Resident Evil, at least from some of the reactions I saw coming out of the panel, it seems like you don't have to like know deep game lore this time. Like Zach Kreger is going to kind of take it and cook on his own thing. Love that. Mike, what did you think, man? Win or lose a mix? How we feeling about the Sony panel?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this one too. With you guys, I'll play devil's advocate with the Spider-Man thing, since this isn't for the fans, right? For the public, they can already say, "Hey, we have the biggest trailer in history. Here's just another clip." And I actually do like the idea of this movie being a more grounded story, a more focused like Peter Parker story. So yeah, Paul being in this movie sucks, dude. MJ being with another guy sucks. Yeah. And so, you know, them just giving them another extended clip, I think is okay. I kind of do think it's an afterthought because again, we had the biggest trailer of all time, and this movie's going to make $1 billion in July. Yeah. That's all the theater owners really need to know and care about in that sense. It's all the other reveals that I think are more important for Sony, and I still don't know if they actually hit. Like, I don't know if anybody cares about Jumanji open world. I feel like we've waited a little bit too long since the last one. We're going to the real world, and I don't even understand the logistics of that. Are the kids still playing the characters?
Yeah. Well, no.
they're like meeting the characters this time.
Apparently, The Rock is stuck in like Spanish mode, so he has like a Spaniard like voice.
That's kind of funny.
It is. And like there's like scenes where they're like running down the road and they're running like video game characters, and everyone's like pointing. It's like, what the hell? What are, you know? It sounds funny. I like the last two Jumanji movies quite a bit, I think.
I do too. I just wonder like if they've missed their window, and when the movie comes out, it's like between the biggest movies of the year. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Good luck. I just wish they probably made a little bit more of a splash is what I'm saying. Looking at the list here, Spider-Verse looks cool. Again, it's been so long. I need a trailer at this point. Like more images of Spider-Verse. Like, all right, Miles is getting his butt kicked again by Miguel. That's cool.
I mean, he's getting thrown on the wall. I'm like, damn, dog. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
He is slamming that man up on the wall. I'm like, geez, that's a kid, my guy.
Visually, it looks great. Like, I love the inversion of the colors because now he's looking like Venom. That's sick. But yeah, like there's just so many unknowns from this specific panel this year. Like, we know nothing about Zelda. We know nothing about Helldivers. We don't really know anything about what's that other movie that Bloodborne. Jacksepticeye's working on that. That's weird, but all right.
Yeah. Don't know.
So it's like there's stuff here that I think is cool. That's why it's not a bad panel, but we didn't learn a ton about these things. Like, hey, here's some cool stuff that we're working on, and we get like little nuggets of interesting stuff like Resident Evil thrown in here. But yeah, this is one of those ones where it's like we're looking at 2 years from now, so we don't have anything to show for it just yet.
Yeah. I feel like Sony. It's funny because they're always starting it, and it feels like there hasn't been too much of like a start that's like, man, they're on a heater. Like Disney arguably is like the one that maybe should start. Well, then again, they end it for a reason. But still, I mean, I will say I'm a little mixed, but maybe leaning a little more positive here. What I find strange is that Tom Holland was a hologram to present the clip in the posters. I'm like, why have this man as a hologram? Can't he be there? I mean, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans were on site. They couldn't get Tom Holland?
His wife was there.
Yeah, she was there for Doom Part 3 and not Spider-Man. I'm like, could she have maybe come out for Spider-Man? Just an odd panel, I think. And it's kind of like they gave us the new images and we got the new posters. So those things are really awesome. I'm glad that they put some things out online. But like, man, can y'all give us a little bit more of these things? I think Spider-Man Brand New Day, if it had Tom Holland throwing to the clip, it would be a lot. It would have a lot more impact, in my opinion. But like him being the hologram, I'm like, all right. It seemed like maybe y'all was like, ooh, this budget's a little tight this year. We got to tighten the belt up a little.
Can we talk about how dumb Ned is for a second? Flash and Mr. Harrington. What are we doing?
The worst. Like, come on, my guy. The worst possibilities.
They're from Queens. He knows he's from Queens.
Somebody on Twitter, like the second this dropped, they went and got his clip from Spider-Man Homecoming. And it's like, you're in the same scene with all three of these dudes. Come on, bro.
Come on, my guy. Ned's just trying to get by, y'all. MIT student Ned. Crazy. We got a comment here. Marvel is an L for not releasing the Avengers Doomsday trailer. No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Chris. We all feel the same here. Wait it out. Get people anticipating this thing like crazy, and then drop the trailer in front of Brand New Day, or maybe Mando. Mando could use a little help, I think. But we'll talk about Mando a little bit later. But y'all, let's keep this thing cruising along. We're going to go to Warner Brothers, which this one, very strange panel here, but we'll get into that a little bit later. They showed some footage from Doom Part 3, which sounded amazing. There was a battle sequence that was set 17 years later and compared to Saving Private Ryan's Normandy scene. So this thing is huge. Stilgar arrives on a new planet and sees rain for the first time. Denis Villeneuve is not going to miss here. I'm very excited for Doom Part 3. Now, they also showed some Supergirl footage, but I've heard some mixed things about this one. The scene showed was a public transit scene, and it was straight from the Woman of Tomorrow comic. Also had Kara and Krypto fleeing Krypton, Superman showing up, Kara calling Superman a nerd, and Kara fighting Lobo. We'll see how all this comes together. Supergirl, I just feel really strange about that one with DC and Warner Brothers. I feel like that one is getting like the least amount of attention, the least amount. And I wish they would do a little bit more with that, but we'll come back to that later. Clayface had a teaser, which this sounded extremely interesting. Now, Tom Reed's playing Matt Hagen, and Safran called it a written horror thriller. Said it's completely, totally different from anything the DCU has done. Just a guy waking up in a hospital covered in bandages, experiments being done on him. Then he wipes his hand across his face, and it's like it smears off. Like, that sounds really creepy. And I'm pretty excited for that one. Like that sounds like, when I think of like superhero films and comic book movies, how many we have coming out nowadays, that sounds like a genuine, like, special one where it's like, okay, we have something different, something unique. I really like the sound of Clayface. And then Man of Tomorrow starts filming next week, and David Corenswet showed up with Nicholas Hoult. They were like on a video and talked a little bit about it, which was, again, kind of like the whole Tom Holland thing. It's like, really, it would have been cool if you guys were there. So it would have been nice to have a little bit more footage from that, but apparently Digger seemed really good. It's like a Tom Cruise film. They showed an extended trailer of it, had everybody buzzing. Cruise plays an old, balding, heavyset Southern billionaire oil baron who has to team up with the president, played by John Goodman, to prevent a world-ending incident. Like, holy crap, this sounds awesome. Then Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for the Golem revealed its full cast. Jamie Dornan is playing Aragorn. Leo Waddell is in it. Kate Winslet, Lee Pace, Ian McKellen's back. Elijah Wood is back. Andy Serkis, stacked lineup. And then there was also the announcement of Game of Thrones, Aegon's Conquest. There's also Ocean's 11 prequel coming along. Weird that they're still putting out those Ocean movies, but whatever. Baz Luhrmann's doing a Joan of the Arc. And then during the panel, or I think right before it, they announced that Adria Arjona is being cast in Man of Tomorrow, has been confirmed to be in Man of Tomorrow as a mystery role. So WB, why didn't you save the Adria Arjona one for this panel? Because they had Nicholas Hoult and David Cornsweet out there looking a fool, talking a couple of sentences about the movie without anything to show. Very odd. But Warner Brothers did not, and I think this is the biggest mistake of CinemaCon entirely, did not mention the Batman 2 at all. Like they didn't, there was a sizzle of movies coming out next year. The Batman Part 2 wasn't a part of it. They didn't even mention it, guys. What a miss. What a miss. Even if Robert Pattinson was there and was like, hey man, like I'm working, y'all. We're filming right now. And this is one of the best movies I've ever read a script for. Whatever. Some kind of tease. How are we feeling about the WB panel? Mike, I'm going to go to you first, my man, the DC fan in the room. How are we feeling, man? What mixed, great, not good?
This is arguably the worst panel of the convention because of everything you just said. How do you not have Matt Reeves take that stage and just vamp for a minute and a half? Just let him say, hey, finally got the script done. This is what you guys can expect. It's darker, it's grittier, it's challenging Bruce Wayne, but anything. He could have said anything. All the buzzwords, and that would have been enough. We've got a Batman and a Superman movie coming out in the same year. You're going to call it the year of the world's finest. You know, we're selling to Paramount. We're going out with a bang, something, anything. It's weird that they don't talk about Batman at all. And yeah, it's weird that we have this Adria Arjona thing happening with DC when James Gunn's on social media talking about, oh, Deadline got it wrong, and then this story comes out and he's dead silent. And it's like, okay, he's silent because they're going to reveal it at CinemaCon, and they don't. And so that's just weird because then she's there, and then Michael B. Jordan mentions it at another panel, and it's like, what are we doing? All of this is a mess. That DC stuff aside, the rest of this panel is also kind of a mess because the hunt for Gollum should not exist. I don't know what we're doing with that movie.
Mike, you told me you've been pumped for the hunt for Gollum.
Nate is a pathological liar, chat, by the way. But like, you guys know I love me some Lord of the Rings. Hunt for Gollum is dumb. We're recasting Aragorn, but then Elijah Wood and Ian McKellen are back too. So it's like, huh?
Very weird. Very weird.
Digger sounds cool. I'm really hyped for that. Clayface sounds really interesting. I'm excited to see this horror tale in the Batman universe. Weird that the first Batman-ish story in the DCU is Clayface and not Batman. Whole other conversation. Supergirl, I'm a little nervous because if you listen to Nate and I on Insider Chatter, I've been talking about Supergirl and it's like, it's not exactly what I want from the book. And every time they show footage, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think this is what I want from that story. But, you know, fingers crossed. I'm hoping it turns out okay. The highlight of all of this is Dune, because everyone who saw that footage made it sound like it was the greatest thing ever. So I need to see the next Dune trailer. So there's some things here that I like, but for the most part, it left me scratching my head.
Yeah, and I'm worried about DC Studios, man, because Clayface sounds awesome. I'll say this, like the trailer, the people who were commenting about it, that sounds like it could be really cool. Something dark, something different, something mysterious. Super down for that. With the Supergirl stuff, like it looks cool. I like Millie Alcock in the suit, but I'm kind of like not as hype as I want to be. Jason Momoa too, like he came out on stage with a motorcycle and it just seemed like I don't know. It just seemed. And it feels like there's this weird back and forth patty cake of like, okay, she's the main character in the movie, but you got this really cool Jason Momoa Lobo over here pulling up in motorcycles and all this stuff. And then you got her over here with Ruth Ye, and that's okay. Like, that's a cool story. But I don't know that I don't know that I'm getting as excited as I want to. And it seems like DC's not helping. Like we just got another teaser for the Jason Momoa thing. Like, yeah. I'm not getting enough hype here. I'm not getting enough.
It's strange because, again, I've read the comic. Nate's read the comic too. And one of the things that Tom King, the author of that book, said was, in his original pitch, Lobo was in that story. Lobo's not in the comic book.
Nope.
And the reason DC editorial said take Lobo out is because we want to not distract from Kara's story and Kara's arc. And so by reintroducing Lobo, we're now distracting from Kara's story. And Millie Alcock leading this movie, because now it's like, well, it's a buddy cop with her and Jason Momoa. And it's like, that's the point of this story. I pitched it to Nate before he read it. It's like, it's kind of like The Last of Us or True Grit, where it's like Kara's in this role of like, she's the lone wolf taking care of the cub, where she has to help this Ruthie kid go across the galaxy and deal with this bounty hunter. And I think the problem with the Supergirl trailer is that it makes it look like the only plot of this movie is that Krypto needs saving again, which makes it feel repetitive to the super movie we just got, which that's a major plot of the book. That is important. But yeah, like, they're not selling this movie well. That's the problem.
Oh, go ahead, Nate.
I was going to say, because that first trailer, I was like, okay, like you using Blondie in the trailer. I mean, I'm a sucker for that. But I wasn't, like, wowed by it. I will say I really love that second trailer a lot. But still, like, even reading this footage and, like, finally seeing the comic, like, most of that comic, like, it's about, how do you pronounce her name? Ruth A?
I think it's Ruthie or Ruthie. I can.
No
I don't
one's
know
ever
what
said it out loud. So
yeah. So who knows?
She feels like such an afterthought. Like, even in the trailer, it's like, oh yeah, my father, he killed my father too. But also Krypto. It's like, the comic is just as much about like her arc as it is Supergirl's. And it's like, why is she like feel so like glossed over compared to it?
Also, Crime of the Yellow Hills just looks bad. I mean,
He looks like a Ravager, a discount Ravager.
Yeah,
100%. I just don't think he looks exciting. We haven't really got much with him, so it just, I don't know. I Supergirl, I want to be excited because I love Millie Alcock. I love the comic, the Woman of Tomorrow comic. I just am not as excited as I should be there. So Nate, let me throw to you, man. What do you think of this panel? Winner, loser, mixed?
I might be. Oh God, I got a cough. I'm gonna be the odd duck here because look, the DC stuff really confused me very much. Still, I want to picture like if we were there, we would probably say, besides Disney, this won for us because the Dune stuff. But they also made a lot of announcements to the public. Like CinemaCon, we've talked about this. We've been talking on Discord. It's like, this isn't Comic-Con. This isn't really where they make like casting announcements or anything. They made a lot of announcements here. One of them was their Warner Brothers is finally starting an indie label because, you know, Universal has Focus.
Yeah.
Fox, well, I guess now Disney has Searchlight. Sony has Sony Pictures Classics. They're finally doing one called Warner Brothers Clockwork. And they're starting with a movie from Sean Baker, the guy who just won a ton of Oscars last year for Anora. He's doing a movie called Tiamo, which is like inspired by like Italian sex comedies. Sophie Thatcher is apparently going to be in it. So I like that. I think also just, again, we'll go back. I'm going to talk about Zach Kreger again. They announced that his next movie after Resident Evil is The Flood, which for a while was rumored to be going to Netflix. And he was battling Netflix. And I was like, oh no, is this movie not going to get made? This is like the script that he said he was like the most like proud of. It's kind of like Event Horizon-y as well. It's all like set in like space. And now it's finally getting made. You know, it's not at Netflix. Warner Brothers took it over. I guess it was a smooth transition. He's not doing the Aunt Gladys prequel, but we did get confirmation on that. And I mean, even like the Digger stuff, I'm like, look, I love Tom Cruise. The director of that movie, Alejandro Iñárritu, I really did not like his movie Birdman. I know it won Best Picture and everything, but my probably take that I'm notorious for in some of my circles is how much I dislike that movie. I like The Revenant a lot, but I'm like, I felt so conflicted, and then when I read that description, I'm like, okay, this kind of sounds up my alley. I like they compared it to like Doctor Strangelove and Brazil, and a little bit of like a movie I defend a lot, Don't Look Up. So they compared it to all those kinds of movies, and I'm like, okay, that actually sounds completely up my alley. And then, of course, the Dune 3 stuff. I mean, I'll share it right here. It's at my precious.
He's got the Dunacy.
Yes. I mean, I'm a massive Dune fan, so just hearing about that footage and them comparing it to like Saving Private Ryan, I'm like, okay. The Spielberg fanboy in me is like, oh my god, Denny is just going wild on this movie, and I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be freaking awesome, man. Dune 3, I think between that, Avengers Doomsday, and the Odyssey, I think those are like the big three that like probably shook the con the most. So Dune Part 3, Doomsday is gonna happen, by the way. We'll get to it later, but Marvel just announced that they're not going to move the date, and they have some crazy thing called Infinity Vision, which again we'll get to later. But I think for this one, I'm gonna go loser. I'm gonna say it lost. Just because you don't mention the Batman, you don't show anything Man of Tomorrow. I mean, we don't get a clip, a picture, nothing. That's crazy. And then I would say the only thing holding this one up is that Dune 3. Because if you had taken that away from this panel, I'd be like, woo, flat bottom, worst one. But the fact that they had Dune Part 3 keeps it at least a little decent. Real quick, let's just go ahead and address some of the comments. We got Joe Son. Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Hello. Parks says hi.
Hey, Parks.
What's up, Parks? Yeah, he said we talked ourselves out of Supergirl. Admittedly, the more we talked about it, the more I was like, oof, I am worried about Supergirl. So you right about that. But y'all, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next panel here. We had Universal and Focus. Now, this one was another big one because it had the Odyssey show a sequence. They showed the Trojan Horse sequence and a new scene with Charlize Theron as Calypso. It's got everybody very excited. I'm glad to see that she's in the film. It's also under 3 hours. Given the scope of this thing, that's actually pretty shocking. Under 3 hours with all of these people in it. That would almost be like saying, like, hey, Doomsday is like 2 hours. Which
Lord of the Rings being like 220. It's like, what?
Like, dude, y'all got damn near everybody and their mom in Hollywood up in this joint. So a little odd.
I have a conspiracy theory I'll share later.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to that. Snoop Dogg biopic is happening. Kind of weird. Again, if this was like to sell to the exhibitors and the owners of theaters, really? A Snoop Dogg biopic?
We got to follow up Michael with something? I guess. I don't know.
Jonathan Davis from Outer Banks is playing Snoop. Craig Brewer is directing this, and it's being described as a spiritual cousin to Straight Outta Compton.
Just because it's about Snoop, right? Like, all right, this is we're doing a lot of heavy lifting with Straight Outta Compton comps. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think that I don't know that seems like a reach, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see that one. Robert Eggers' Werewolf showed its first teaser. Same aspect ratio as The Lighthouse, and it features Aaron Taylor Johnson transforming into a real hairy werewolf. What was that wolf movie that came out? Not the beginning of this year, the beginning of last year. There was a wolf movie that Wolfman. Please be better than that. Woo! I was disappointed in that one.
He was boldy.
Yeah. I was like, didn't like that one. It's okay. So Spielberg's also, they showed Disclosure Day. They revealed the creature design, which I'm really excited for this because somebody explained it as like almost like all of Spielberg's best hits wrapped into one. I'm like, okay, you got me excited. The footage like really blew the room away, by the way. That was another one that did very well. And then there was also Violent Night 2 with Kristen Bell as Mrs. Claus. I thought Violent Night 1 was fun. Did I need a sequel? Not necessarily, but hey, if they're gonna do one, I'm not complaining. And then Minions and Monsters. I think they showed a little bit of that. They also dropped the trailer for Fokker-in-Law, which has Ariana Grande. Did they need to make another Meet the Fockers movie? I don't think so. But hey, why not? What do we think of the Universal one? Are we going winner, loser, or mixed? I'm gonna start with you, Nate, because man, Disclosure Day, you was hyping that up early, and you got a conspiracy. We got to hear about that, man.
Okay, I mean, first of all, as anyone who knows me, I am obsessed with Steven Spielberg, almost to an unhealthy amount. So I've been very, very, very excited about this movie. And so I think the first trailer turned some people off. I mean, you throw Steven Spielberg's name in front of anything. If you just have a movie of somebody slicing bread and it says directed by Steven Spielberg, I'm going to be immediately hyped. But like, I still thought the first trailer was good. I thought the second trailer was better, but there's still like some people being like, okay, all the reaction were people were like, I was a little skeptical. Okay, no, this looks incredible. Like I'm also just sick of hearing people say Spielberg lost his like magic. I'm like, his last two movies were West Side Story and The Fabelmans, which especially West Side Story, like that movie freaking rocked. So just that movie, I mean, it has Josh O'Connor, who's become like one of my favorite like rising actors after, you know, Wake Up Dead Man and Challengers. Like he was great in both of those. Emily Blunt. And then they have like a shot of a deer, the CGI deer that's in the trailer. Apparently it looks a lot better now, but it shifts into a gray alien. So I'm like, okay, you know, that sounds sick. And then my theory with the Odyssey, because I had a friend ask me, he was like, how do you think it's going to turn out? I'm like, it's Nolan. You always trust Nolan. But I'm like, we don't know how long it's going to be. Now, apparently, it's going to be under 3 hours. My theory, though, and I have nothing to back this up by, you know, because we have heard nothing about it. So this is not even true. And this is probably like a 10 or 15% chance, I would say, of happening. What if they split it in two? You know? Like
The Odyssey?
Yeah, the Odyssey. Like, what if that's split into two movies? Like, the movie ends, title card, The Odyssey Part 1.
If they don't tell me going in, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be cooked.
Yeah, I feel like you've gotta. It's Nolan, like you said. So like, we're gonna show up anyway. So they can just say we're doing a 2-part.
That's true.
Movie.
Give me the announcement before. I swear, if that thing cut to black and then like Part 2 due out next season, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna say that, man. I'm gonna be like, hell nah.
I've also been burned by Spider-Verse, so if it's a Part 2, it better come out next year. I don't want to be waiting 5 years for the Odyssey Part 2.
Well, filming took a long time, so like maybe they filmed both the movies back to back, or they're like, because I think the thing of why it's under 3 hours, like Oppenheimer was right at the 3 hour mark, and I was reading today, it's like something to do with like the 70 millimeter like IMAX film stock, like it cannot do a runtime like that long.
That's interesting.
So
maybe this movie is like 259.
They're like, it's under 3 hours by a minute. Yeah, no, please don't be no Part 1, Part 2. Woo, I'll be hot. Because yeah, Mike, I mean, I was okay with Across the Spider-Verse being, obviously there was another one gonna come there. I was okay with that, but now y'all got us waiting 5 years for this thing?
Yeah.
We just had a comment from Strawberry Rim who says, when are we expecting the Spider-Verse trailer, the Beyond the Spider-Verse? It's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
A while. I mean, we're probably not gonna see anything until at least October, at least. Yeah. I mean, if not
might just
further.
put it with Doomsday.
They might.
A really good move for Sony.
Yeah, they eating with the Spider-Man movies though, and they are not letting that character go. But, so yeah, go on ahead but what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I think still, despite Nolan and Spielberg, like if we were there, I'd probably say this one for me because I was in the presence of Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan. But I'm gonna say This one's kind of a letdown. This is the one that I don't know if I can go like thumbs down on it, but I'm gonna say mixed again because nothing else in their slate, like Universal is like the last like great pure film studio who's not relying on IP, but it's like, look, I enjoyed Violent Night a lot. I kind of wish I loved it because I'm a Christmas movie nerd. And you give me a movie that sounds like something a 12-year-old version of me would be dreaming up, you know? But it's like, we didn't really need a sequel to that. Focker-in-Law, like, okay, yeah, I like the original Meet the Parents. I'll defend Meet the Fockers. I thought the trailer looked kind of funny, but it's like, do we really need, is that, I guess it's gonna make money, but it's like, okay, Minions and Monsters, you dropped our boys, Kevin Stewart and Bob. They're not in this. Like, what the heck? Like, that's
can I make a shameful admission here?
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of these movies since Despicable Me 2, man.
Oh, wow.
None of them. 3 Minions, all that. I ain't seen none of that. I want to ask y'all, I know this is a total sidebar, how do they keep making these movies? Money. Kids are really still going to see this shit?
Yeah.
Well, we have the Gentle Minions, first off, going up in 3-piece suits, going to watch the Minions movies. And then we have Facebook moms. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are making a ton of money. Didn't the last one make near $1 billion? It made like 800 million or something?
Yeah. I had seen all of them except the one that came out like 2 years ago, the Despicable Me 4 with like Will Ferrell was in that one. Never watched that one, but I mean, this one has an incredible voice cast. Trey Parker, who is in Despicable Me 3, he's voicing like kind of the co-lead. He's like the baby Cthulhu thing that guides them. And I mean, I'm a massive South Park fan, so like,
we got a prediction of 950 million worldwide for that Minions. My goodness, is that for Minions?
So it's definitely gonna make money.
Yeah, I just think it's really ballsy to put a Minions movie set in the 1920s.
Right.
Like, I'm glad the plot is they're gonna go make a monster movie. It's like, oh, good, they were preoccupied that time.
Oh, clarification here. That's what Minions 2 made globally.
Oh, okay.
Damn. 950.
Yeah.
Mike, how you feeling, man? What you think? Win or loser? Mixed. Universal focus.
I think my expectations for Universal focus was always a little bit lower. So like, I thought this panel was fine. All I cared about was update on the Odyssey, and a tease for Werewolf, which we got. So I'm cool with that.
Wait, you're missing a name.
What's that?
Spielberg.
I was getting there, but thank you, sir.
You saying you're not excited for Disclosure?
Well, I'm one of the people who was sold on the first trailer anyway, so like this is just gravy for me. I'm glad people like how this is turning out. I'm glad that the visual effects are a lot tighter than the initial teaser trailer. Violent Night 2 is cool. I love Christian Bale. Having Mrs. Cole is interesting. We need more Christmas movies in general, honestly. So
yes,
extending that franchise is fun. Minions, again, it's just more, I hate to say it, but like Illumination slop. It's going to make $1 billion and no critic's going to actually like it. It is what it is. That's what they do.
Hey, I like the Mario movies, man. I like them.
They all right. And then we got Ariana Grande still acting. That's cool. I wasn't sure if that was going to keep happening after Wicked, but hopefully she carves out a nice career for herself. Yeah, like I wasn't expecting a ton from this panel, but everything they announced, I'm like, yeah, it's by the numbers. The only thing that's shocking me is the Snoop Dogg biopic, because who wants that, especially now? Like, I don't know if I want to know about 2026 Snoop Dogg. I'm sorry, he's been moving weird lately.
Yeah, with the whole like gay conversations that he's been talking about, all that stuff. I'm like,
the
Snoop,
MAGA stuff. It's like,
yeah, the MAGA. Snoop in the doghouse, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you going mixed, Mike? You going?
I guess mixed, but also my expectations weren't that high anyway, and it kind of met them. So it's like, yeah, it's fine.
It's mixed, so mixed. I'm gonna go bad on this one too, y'all. Now, besides the Odyssey, well, okay, let me back it up. I don't want to be too negative, but besides the Odyssey and Disclosure Day, so they had two that were good. I'm gonna go mix two then, because they had Disclosure, Odyssey, and what else was it? Oh, Werewolf. So they had some hitters here.
It's gonna be me playing devil's advocate on why you can say bad though, because as Nate has in our notes, the Odyssey footage is kind of what they already showed during Avatar anyway. So it wasn't even new.
It was the Trojan horse, which was shown like multiple times at multiple IMAX screenings. Like that's why we didn't hear like more about. That's probably why they led with Christopher Nolan too. Like he had quipped, I guess there. He was like, I didn't want to, go after Spielberg, which, I love. What a power couple, man. But I think it was also just he's so secretive about his movies and he works them down to the wire. He's such a perfectionist, but still, couldn't you have given us like a little bit more? Like, I know he has a specific schedule. Like he always releases his movies 3 years apart, always on like the same weekend, and like always has specific dates for his trailers. Like always has done that. But still, like you're just gonna give us like a brief scene of you just announce who Charlize Theron is playing, which love her, but it's like we kind of knew that from rumors. It's like, okay, cool.
That one I didn't know was being rumored, so but I mean it just seems like at this point almost every month we might end up getting hey, this person was added to the Odyssey. But that's gonna be like grand. I skipped the panel. I forgot about Godzilla Minus Zero. But this was a really short one. Do you have something, Mike?
I was gonna say, we don't want to mess with any footage for Godzilla Minus Zero because is it flagging? They are snipers, man. Trust me. But well, we could talk about it for a second.
Yeah, so really they debuted a teaser for Godzilla Minus Zero. Gosh, I almost called it -1. Godzilla Minus Zero, and in the teaser we do see the Shikishima family again, and we do see Godzilla walking by the Statue of Liberty. So that man has emerged in New York, which is amazing. That looks like it's going to be fire. I'll say this was a winner because I mean, it was a quick panel. I'm sure this was like a quick little, hey, the director talked for a little bit, due to the trailer, boom, in and out. I think this was easily a winner. Not much to say about this one. Godzilla, the look of Godzilla and the mass in IMAX is going to be phenomenal. And this was shot for IMAX. So this is going to look incredible. The first one, VFX were out of this world. Man, I know them VFX workers are working around the clock to make this happen because wasn't the budget on the first one like 90 million or something? I mean, they working with 15, you said?
Yeah, it was like 15. It was like less. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's some shoestring budget money right there that they made some magic out of. So we already know the second one is going to cook. What do we think of this one, y'all? We'll make this one quick. Winner, loser, mixed.
I mean,
big winner.
Yeah.
I like Godzilla in New York. That's incredible. I've yet to see -1. It's on my docket. I'm gonna get to it by the time this one comes out. But just the 49, the 49 seconds that we saw, I'm like, okay, we're cooking. I got burnt out with the MonsterVerse version of Godzilla. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm ready to get back into this version of Godzilla.
Come on, y'all. Godzilla versus Kong. Now, here's what I'll say about the MonsterVerse. Its best actual product is on Apple TV Plus, Monarch. That's a hell of a show. I wish they took that writing. I don't know what writers team is writing Monarch and who's writing the Godzilla movies, but I'm like, they need to have the actual writers of the show write the movies. I don't know what's going on there. Because the show is fun, it's cohesive. Is it the best TV out right now? No, but it is really solid Great storytelling there between the past and the future as well, or past and present. Really like that. I mean, the Monsterverse, basically, they said, yeah, we just gonna have these guys duke it out on the big screen. I mean, the last one was basically an Avengers movie. I mean, let's be real.
It was.
Is Baby Kong in Monarch, though? He was the only good part of that last one. I love him.
So he's not in season 1. I'm not caught up on season 2.
Okay.
But I mean, season 2, there's more. They have like a lot of the kaiju will like pop up here and there, like, but in season 2, there's a lot more kaiju. I mean, Kong is in the first episode. Like, I think they upped the budget on that joint. It's definitely worth the watch. But Nate, win or loser, mixed.
Winner. I mean, he gave us -1 gave me like, it reignited my love of Godzilla, because like I felt like so burned like consistently by the Monsterverse. Like, I've always been more of a Godzilla fan than King Kong, but it was always weird to me that my favorite movie of the Monsterverse was the King Kong movie. I kept being let down by the Godzilla movies. Like, I didn't like the 2014 one. King of the Monsters, I was kind of mixed on. Godzilla versus Kong was fine, but like -1 was so freaking good. And that was when I went to see like on a whim with my dad, who like knew nothing about it. He was like, I don't know, like, is this gonna be goofy or anything? Like, that and a movie we'll get to that I mentioned to begin with earlier, like movies he rewatches like quite a bit, and he never rewatches movies. So, and I think the fact they're filming this on IMAX, like, I really wonder how much they upped the budget for this movie. Like, they did all of that on like $15 million. Like, imagine if this movie like has I think they said it's going to be a pretty expensive movie. Like, imagine what they're going to be able to do with it. You know, this movie's about to go wild. I'm very curious with the New York stuff. I'm like, are we going to get like, I don't know, Chris Pratt popping up as the American? I don't know. That was me joking. But like, are we going to get like an American side? I don't think we really need that, but still, I mean,
if that happens, I'm coming for you, man. Because I don't need to see more Chris Pratt. I'm like, listen, Mario, stay over there, dog.
I don't know. He was the first like American actor who could pop into my head. I don't know.
Why was Chris Pratt the first American?
Chris Pratt?
We're talking Mario.
Like,
He's an actor.
Like, I'm already like, hey, I'm burnt out. I'm going to get to this next one eventually. And you would be like, what if Chris Pratt shows up? I'm not
Can we pick a different Chris? Can it be like Chris Evans? Like, I would even
Pine.
like if it was Chris Evans who popped
Chris
up.
Pine's cool. I'll take Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, I'll take Chris Pine. I'll take Chris Hemsworth, but he ain't American, so he's out the mix.
I'll drop Chris, but that was just a joke.
We've been traumatized, man. The joke ain't funny anymore. I saw Mario didn't even try this last one. That was just Chris Pratt the entire movie.
Hey man, he did the little woohoo. He did a couple little.
The first movie he did the voice. He did a voice. This second one is just like, oh, that's just he's not even trying.
Yeah, he's just talking. He ain't doing no voice. But hey, props to Donald Glover, bro. I mean, my goodness, he got the Yoshi voice down.
That
He was
crazy good.
So good. So this one, all around winner. Definitely agree with you guys. Let's go to Amazon MGM because I was trashing this one earlier, but actually it does have some really good stuff. So Spaceballs. Amazing. Rick Moranis is back as Dark Helmet, and he's battling Yogurt, who apparently is like jacked with a 5-pronged lightsaber. The movie takes some shots at some of the studio mergers, which I do want to add in. Warner Brothers didn't mention the merger. Another panel did. We'll talk about that. And then there's a joke, and there's a Navi urinal joke, but I got a sense of that for the stream. No, I don't know if they'll pull us down. I can't repeat it here, but trust me, very Mel Brooks is super funny. Looks awesome. Highlander got Chad Stahelski directing. Henry Cavill is starring in it. Dave Bautista is in it as well. It kind of looks, from the photos, it looks like John Wick. They said from the footage that was shown, it looks John Wickish. Hell, if that means another John Wick, I'm here. I'm down. The John Wick
John
movies
Wick
is
was
not one of
smart.
them. I love John Wick. I will say the only John Wick project I don't like, and this is a stretch, don't like, but thought was okay, was that one show they did for Peacock. It was all right. Yeah, the Continental. I'm like, how do you take John Wick and you give us the episode 1 of the Continental, you give us this crazy action sequence, crazy, and then they do nothing after that until like the last episode. I'm like, what the hell? John Wick is the franchise where you don't sit around and talk a lot. But anyway, we'll go on to another action franchise, Beekeeper 2. We got Jason Statham back. Beekeepers kidnap the president, and Statham kills a guy by shoving a flamethrower down his throat. There's a Cybertruck that does not survive the movie. I'm in for this one. Also, the Thomas Crown Affair, starring and directed by Michael B. Jordan, with some Tenet vibes. How to Rob a Bank with David Leitch, about an influencer bank robbers with a stat cast, and the Sheep Detectives. And people are apparently comparing this to Paddington. I don't know. I seen some of the
That's
posters.
me.
That's you. That was you compared.
So I will say real quickly, Hugh Jackman has been hanging out a lot at my alma mater's campus.
What?
Yeah, at Ball State University. So his girlfriend Sutton Foster was like teaching a course. He's even doing the commencement speech at graduation and everything.
Oh wow!
But, like, he like screened Song Sung Blue, but like apparently I have a friend who works there who was like, he's been kind of hyping up that Sheep movie, and I'm like, what? And like apparently I've read reports like Amazon's people are like, they're having the embargo early. I've seen like a lot of hearts from people I didn't expect to see hearts from on Letterboxd. I'm like, what if this is Paddington? Like, it's the British animal movies that are usually the ones that work. Christopher Robin worked. Paddington obviously really worked.
Paddington is solid. Love that Paddington.
Us Americans, we can't do talking animal family movies like the live action.
Hey, Guardians of the Galaxy counts.
That's it.
Yeah, you got Rocket.
Rocket's
Okay.
Rocket. Groot a talking tree.
I guess, yeah, that I'll make the exception there. But like, Australia has Babe. Those movies are great, but the British.
Damn, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, Babe. Awesome movie. George Miller. But
do we call Sonic the Hedgehog a live action animal movie?
He's an alien in the canon.
Fair.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to go on my side tangent. But yeah, that was me saying I'm like, this could be Paddington.
I had to pull up a list of like live action animal movies, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Ugh. Garfield, homie. that was terrible. Chris Pratt. Peter Rabbit. No. Doolittle. Homie, this is a terrible list. This is a horrible list. Horrible. Yeah, we don't know how to do it. Are you going winner, Nate? Winner, loser for Amazon?
I'm going winner. This, like, just the Spaceballs, Highlander, Beekeeper 2, Thomas Crown Affair. There's a biopic on the making of Rocky, which Rocky is like always has been in my Letterboxd top 4. I love that movie very, very much. I'm a little iffy on the director. It's Peter Farrelly, who, Green Book and all that. But, the trailer apparently looked great. There's also a movie with Mahershala Ali called Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother, which not a great name for a movie, but it's directed by the guy who was initially going to direct Blade. And it's another Hitman movie. But then John Cho is playing the villain. He has like insanely big like hair. That sounds cool. Gareth Evans of The Raid. He has a new like action movie called A Cult Is My Passport. It's a remake of like a Japanese film. Like it's set in Detroit. That sounds sick. You know what? I just think their slate sounds like awesome. The Spaceballs stuff sounded hilarious. I'm just happy Rick Moranis is back. Thomas Crown Affair. I mean, I thought I really love how Michael B. Jordan is kind of almost following Sylvester Stallone's like playbook, because Sylvester Stallone, like, he didn't direct the original Rocky, but then he did a lot of the sequels, and he directed like other franchises. And now Michael B. Jordan, like, he made his debut directing Creed 3, and now he's, you know, trying to launch his own franchises that he's directing too. But he always has filmmakers he works with. So I'm like, he's playing the movie star playbook like no other actor his age is. Like, he's doing it right. That's footage sounded sick, and yeah, Beekeeper. I mean, I love that movie. I've told Mike before, it is the most based movie of all time. And this one sounds incredible. They just had me. I'm like, I saw Cybertruck. I'm like, oh no. And then it's like, oh no, Statham has like tied up all the drivers and he kills them all. I'm like, sick. And then he shoves a flamethrower down somebody's throat, just lets it rip, and it's all set to Metallica. I'm like, inject this. Why can't I have this trailer now? Like, you know what? I'll wait until November for a Doomsday trailer. If I can have this Beekeeper 2 trailer right now. Okay, maybe not, but you know what I mean.
Say, you're the only person on the planet that's going to take that deal.
My dad
Hey
would.
man, I'll take it.
My dad.
Beekeeper was fire.
The Beekeeper 2 descriptions. I didn't watch Beekeeper 1 because I'm not a Statham guy like Nate.
Oh, wait. How you gonna be out here dissing on the Beekeeper talking about Nate the only one that like it? You ain't even watched the movie.
No, I said Nate's the only one who's gonna take the deal of no Doomsday until November for Beekeeper. I'm like, we're not making trades. We can't be making trades out here.
I mean, I'll take it. That first Beekeeper was fire, dude. I'll wait for the Avengers Doomsday trailer. I'll wait.
We're gonna see it already, you know?
The Beekeeper footage sounds so sick. The flamethrower has me sold. I gotta go watch Beekeeper 1 now, just so I can watch Beekeeper 2. Like, I'm bought in. That was enough to, like, the description. That's the cool thing about CinemaCon, is that the description of Beekeeper 2. I'm like, I don't need to know anymore. Y'all don't need to show me the footage. I am there. I gotta go watch the first one, but now I'm there because it sounds so sick. One thing that we didn't talk about with the Amazon is that they announced they're doing 15 movies a year.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So we're going to be getting more from them. And I like that they are kind of similar to Universal, where we're not getting like, oh, we're going to do 20 franchise films. We're doing a lot of different stuff here. And I think that's, when it comes to CinemaCon, what I look for with these panels. So getting Master of the Universe as one of their franchises is cool. But then we get this Rocky movie, like Nate was saying. We get Michael B. Jordan directing a movie. That sounds really sick. We have another Spaceballs, which is tons of fun. This is the lineup that I get excited about, of like, oh, we're having some really cool and interesting and unique premises coming to movie theaters. And then we have Disney come in later. It's like, here's all the franchises that you guys want, which is cool. I'm glad we have that balance. So Amazon, winner for me, kind of balancing the scales a little bit with everybody else.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, this is a winner. There's so much. I was capping, by the way, when we were talking about it earlier. I'm like, Amazon didn't do good. I was actually gonna say it was like top 3 panels for me. It has so much to offer. I mean, between Spaceballs coming back, between Highlander, the Beekeeper 2, I feel like they don't have, like, their panel didn't have like a loser. Like, there wasn't one like the Snoop biopic or whatever. Like, there wasn't none of that on this panel. Like, this panel just felt jam-packed with like really fun stuff that has potential. Sheep Detectives looks a little hokey to me, but hey, I mean, Nate, if you saying it's like Paddington, I'm gonna go see it then, because I was a little bit like,
I get the vibe. It's the British anime.
I'm gonna have to check that out. And then
I do think the trailer's cute. You know, I'm like, okay, I can vibe with this.
Okay.
Posters parodying like other MGM movies. Like, there's like with lamb puns and sheep puns in there, and I was like, oh, this is adorable. I mean, I'm easy to please when you put cute animals on things, as Mike knows all too well. But I'm like, okay. But when that first trailer came out, I was like, this is so stupid. Is this a joke? But now I'm like, I'm kind of pumped for this.
And then the How to Rob a Bank trailer, it's got Nicholas Hoult, Zoe Kravitz, Pete Davidson, Anna Sawai, It seems like it could be fun. It's like some influencer bank robbers. That sounds fun. I'm super down for that. Yeah, this panel, big winner. One of the best of the con, definitely. And we'll move on to Paramount Pictures here, starting off with David Ellison. I'm actually going to read word for word from your notes, Nate. David Ellison being stupid, essentially promising to release 30 movies a year, both WB and Paramount. Definitely not possible. That is a huge reach and a huge promise to try to make here. By the way, they did mention the merger. He mentioned the merger. They did it in the WB panel. So who knows?
Can I interrupt for a second here, Leo?
Yeah.
So I'm just really this. I didn't mention it during the Warner Brothers panel, but they mentioned that they're doing Warner Brothers Clockwork. I know you guys talked about that for a second. Why is Warner Brothers opening another studio department when this merger hasn't been finalized? And is that included in this 30 movie total? I just have so many questions, and it doesn't seem like we really got a ton of answers.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has a ton of answers, man. Like, honestly, I think David Ellison thinks one thing, and everybody else is kind of like, ooh.
It feels like Warner Brothers, and maybe this is just because things aren't finalized, but it feels like Zaslav and WB are moving like this deal is not going through. And so I'm like,
yeah.
Do they expect this deal to fall apart?
You heard the report of like him being like, hey, if this deal falls apart, we just get like a bunch of money and we just ride on. And I'm like, I crapped on Zaslav for so long, but if that's his like ulterior motive, you know, my props. I judged you too harshly. You know, I don't think that's him. I think he's a greedy businessman, like most. But
yeah,
you know, if that's his ulterior, like in an alternate reality, I would just be like, okay, you know, you're getting all this money from, you know, a pretty problematic family to fund Warner Brothers Clockwork and new movies from Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler and Zach Kreger and like all of these incredible filmmakers. It's like, you know what? You do you. Keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So fascinating.
Very fascinating chain of events that's going on here. And just like he said, yeah, Zaslav's like, hey, I'm going to ride off with a bag of money anyway. So it's a little odd shifts happening here with that merger, and it's not finalized. But continuing on, the Paramount panel confirmed that Top Gun 3 is being written. There's a Call of Duty movie from Peter Berg and Taylor Sheridan coming in 2028. And then there's a Timothée Chalamet motocross heist movie with James Mangold called The High Side. Damien Chazelle has a prison movie with Cillian Murphy and Daniel Craig, which sounds awesome. Now, yes. A big splash for, I think, the con in general was Street Fighter. They had their full cast there, and they debuted a trailer online, which looked so fun. Honestly, I think this might be one of the top 3 things of the con in general. It looks fun. It looks goofy. It just looks like the right amount of cheese for a Street Fighter live action movie. You've got they also later in this trailer, I won't show the whole thing, y'all, but Hadouken is shown. Jason Momoa's character is shown. I mean, you got all these signature moves from the characters too. You got that hurricane uppercut, Hadouken. I mean, it's all these really cool signature moves. Looks like it could be really fun and the right amount of cheese and camp for this movie. And then we also had Jackass Best and Last trailer showing Johnny Knoxville kicks a robot in the balls, but then he also has there's like a robot that shoves it up his booty. I don't know. It's some crazy shit. Weird one there. Listen, Jackass, they're always gonna have some crazy stunts like that, but this is next level. And then Johnny Depp is playing Ebenezer Scrooge in a horror take on A Christmas Carol, directed by Ty West. And I did really like. It's funny. I like that little horror trilogy he did. I loved X. Loved Pearl. And then the last one I thought was okay, Maxine.
I'm right there with you. I am very glad you said that because I loved X. Pearl was really good, and then Maxine so let down.
Yeah, a little bit of a letdown. I thought that would be like, because it kind of almost, looking back at them, I think I held X and Pearl at like the same level. I'm like, okay, these are pretty leveled out. And then, yeah, Maxine came out and I was like, oh man, we kind of dropped the ball there. But hopefully this will be a return to form for him. Johnny Depp's back in things. Okay. Then Children of Blood and Bone from Gina Prince by the Wood was like one of the most stacked casts. Also, like one that people said it looks really, really solid. Viola Davis is in it. Idris Elba, Regina King, Cynthia Erivo, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Damson Idris, Lashana Lynch. There's a lot of people in this joint. Big epic fantasy. That's one to keep on everybody's radar. They did show a little bit of Sonic 4 footage. Apparently, there's like a small clip of Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik has survived. And there's like a little bit, I heard there was like a little bit of like an Amy Rose piece. And then they showed a sizzle of previous movies. So not a lot for Sonic 4. TMNT Mutant Mayhem, no footage. But they did confirm it will have Shredder and Krang. Hopefully they did do it better than Out of the Shadows. I'm sure they will because Mutant Mayhem, the first one was awesome. And then James Cameron teased the Billie Eilish concert film. I don't know. Like they're like really hyping that one up, and I don't know why. I'm just like not. I really like Billie Eilish too, but I'm just like seems like another concert movie to me. We'll see. And then scary movie footage was also shown. There was like parodies of Get Out, Weapons, Subs and Sinners, John Wick and Ballerina. That one looks really funny. And I feel like they are out to offend everybody with that movie. And then let's see. I think that might be all for that one.
David Cornswet movie.
Oh yeah, Mr. Irrelevant. Got the David Cornswet movie.
That you forgot about that one.
Mr. Irrelevant. And The Heart of the Beast as well. Brad Pitt and a dog both have PTSD. Get in a plane crash, fight for survival. Directed by David Ayer. Damien Chazelle. Directed or produced. How we feel about this panel? Because I almost want to say like mixed leaning win. Like it's like Street Fighter, awesome. I wish we would have got some TMNT Mutant Mayhem and Sonic 4 stuff. Oh, they also said they're working on a Transformers movie. No word on if it was related to Transformers 1 or live action. I'm assuming live action. But let's go around the horn here, Mike, starting with you. Paramount, winner, loser, mixed.
I'm with you. I'm leaning towards win, but because it's Paramount. Here's the thing: we all know David Ellison is a problematic person, and we get this Call of Duty movie, which I just know is going to be like the biggest propaganda piece in the history of cinema. I'm sorry, we all know it's going to be.
Oh man,
but then,
yeah.
But then we get Street Fighter, which is like he said, campy fun. Like I'm glad that we're getting a summer blockbuster type movie, which is just like, yeah, we're gonna just be ridiculous and have fun with it and just see how it goes. I think it's fitting that we get both Street Fighter and He-Man, which are kind of leading into the goofiness a little bit more, which is a nice balancing of the scales, you know. Mr. Irrelevant sounds really interesting. David Cornswet's a great actor, so I do want to see what he does with that. Sonic, cool. Mutant Mayhem. I spoke with the director. I interviewed him when I was with Collider. He's really excited for this movie. He's like, I can't wait for you guys to see what we do with Shredder. It's going to be so unique. And so I'm hyped to see what they do with Shredder and Krang. Krang's not my favorite TMNT villain. But like you said, we can't do worse than we did last time we used Krang in a movie. So I'm excited for more Mutant Mayhem, of course.
Yeah.
Quiet Place 3. That's cool. I'm glad that's still happening. I want to know what they're doing with Star Trek. And this is where it's always going to feel mixed with Paramount, because Star Trek is like the wokest show ever made. And David Ellison's in charge. So what does Paramount Star Trek look like? Does all the teeth get pulled out of a Star Trek story now?
They have the D&D guys doing it. Guys did the D&D movie.
Ooh.
And but that's my thing is like, I don't think it's gonna be bad. And that's where I'm in that point where I don't think these movies are gonna be bad.
Thank you.
But will Star Trek be as politically charged as it used to be, or is it just going to revert into silly fun action franchise?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and that's where I am with Paramount's most of Paramount's slate, except for the Damien Chazelle movie or the Chalamet and Mangold movie. Like, there's still cool things in here that I'm excited for, but I've heard David Ellison speak, and he's like, we're going to make movies that are no longer woke, and we're going to make movies that are right-leaning. And I'm like, how much of that is just him pandering to Trump, and how much of that is actually going to trickle down into these movies they're announcing? That's why I'm like,
we're about to get Superman Red Sun, bruh. Like, I mean, my goodness.
This is the last hurrah for the DCU guys. I hope you had fun. It's like,
yeah, that's why I think Warner Brothers. That's why I almost think this doesn't go through.
Yeah,
but I mean, listen, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't see this finalizing, man. Nate, what about you, man? Win or loser? Mixed?
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm mixed, leaning towards loser. Only because I did love that Street Fighter footage. That sounds sick. A lot of their movies sound interesting to me. Children of Blood and Bone. I mean, that sounds interesting.
I did want to also add, our friend Trayvon has read the book for Children of Blood and Bone. He loved it, so he said this was going to be really fun. So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, that obviously was not a David Ellison green light. I don't think the Tiana Taylor directorial debut was a David Ellison green light. So I'm like, but they're still moving forward, so maybe there's hope. I don't know. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, it's a lot of, oh, these movies are filming now. It's almost like a whole bunch of Man of Tomorrow announcements where it's like, we're just starting filming. Like Sonic 4, we're a week into filming. Here's one 10-second clip. Quiet Place Part 3. I'm pumped for that movie. Give us some plot. Jack O'Connell's in it. And it's like his, he's going to be a villain again. He's my favorite heavy now. Second post-apocalyptic franchise now for him after 28 years. I'm pumped for Jackass. But why didn't they release that trailer online? That movie comes out in 2 months. It's
word, they didn't put for anything that's around the corner. I feel like just go ahead and drop the trailer.
Yeah,
like Disney did with Mando. Just go ahead and drop it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Who cares about Angry Birds 3?
I didn't even mention that because I was like, really, bro? Angry Birds? Red's a daddy, y'all. Red done got out here in these streets.
I mean, the Brad Pitt one sounds kind of like a Nate movie because dogs. And then the Ty West, the Ebenezer. It's like, how many Christmas Carol movies do we need? I do want a horror-inspired Christmas Carol. But this seems like the David Ellison directive. He's like, Johnny Depp was betrayed by Hollywood. We gotta get Johnny back. How are you gonna get him back? You do a Christmas Carol? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, Ian McKellen said Johnny Depp is the best guy he's ever worked with. So I don't know. He is. I love Ian McKellen. No offense to him, but I'm like,
that's Paramount for you.
Yeah. So I mean, between those, Mr. Irrelevant sounds great. That seems like a movie I would watch with my dad, and then at the Christmas dinner table, he's telling our relatives, he's like, "Oh, Nate took me to Mr. Irrelevant. That was the best movie I've seen in a long time." But that seems like such a dad movie that I'm kind of in on that too.
It does. Put it in there with the Beekeeper. That's another dad movie there.
But a lot of these, Ebenezer and Angry Birds. The lack of footage. Scary Movie. I'm actually pretty excited for. The trailer was pretty funny.
Yeah, that looks hilarious.
I like the joke. They have like they take a shot at ballerina. Like Regina Hall's like, I want to do a ballerina send up, but nobody saw it. So I just got to do John Wick. And I'm like, that's pretty good. And then like the Irish vampires from Sinners, when they parody that, they sing the theme song to the Jeffersons, which
my God.
That's, they did that kind of in Tropic Thunder, but I mean, you know what? I kind of like these kinds of edgy, comedies being back. And Marlon Wayans kind of seems to think this movie could really usher that back in. And so, I hope it works, because the parody film was dead. It was killed by like Meet the Spartans, an epic movie, and Vampires Suck, and disaster movie.
That was a terrible run, man. Oh my God.
So this sounds better.
Yeah, so so you're mixed, leaning a little negative. You know what? I feel you on that for what you said. They didn't show. Like, it was kind of a lot of tell, not a lot of show. I do think they had a lot of good stuff to tell, so I'm a little more positive leaning, but I could see totally how you're a little more, maybe this one's a loser, just because they didn't have as much. And yeah, why isn't the Jackass trailer online? That's crazy. To be right around the corner. Come on. But y'all, we saved the best one for last, y'all. Y'all already know which one I'm talking about. My favorite, Disney. Now, we'll get to the Avengers Doomsday trailer last, but they showed some new footage. I teased. But Toy Story 5 showed some new footage. Apparently, Bonnie ignores the toys to play with her tablet. Woody is balding with a beer belly. I'm like, dang, how y'all just making fun of all the 30-year-olds and everybody who's over 25? They're just making fun of us like that, bro.
Can y'all make that make sense? Where's the beer belly? Like, I get it. He's balding. The paint's fading away. How is he getting fatter?
Maybe
he's got the little poncho on. It's guarding the belly, man. He got that little extra large double XL poncho hiding the gut. It's one of those where it's like he undoes the belt to make a little room after dinner, and then boink, that thing just falls right out. But yeah, Toy Story 5. Jesse seems to be taking more of the lead role this time, which I think they confirmed that a little while back. Duke Kaboom is back as well, with Keanu Reeves voicing that character. So hey, I like the Duke Kaboom. People say this Toy Story 3 should have been the last one. I agree with that. I'm gonna keep on watching them. I mean, they're just gonna keep on putting them out. So I'll be at Toy Story 5, 6, and 7.
Here's the thing: Toy Story 4 didn't need to happen, but it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
We're at that point where it's like, yeah, you should have ended with 3, because that's probably the best ending point. But also, none of these are bad, and I'm enjoying them. So yeah, keep them coming. I guess I just accepted my fate. I'll be watching Toy Story forever.
Like, we're gonna be watching Toy Story 30 here when we grandparents. The Mandalorian.
Like, what are toys? What is this even about?
Right? Like, never played with a toy before. Which I will say this about Toy Story 5. I do like that storyline. I do like the whole, like, oh, okay, tech is taking over. Like, what do toys mean to kids now? I do like that. I think that's kind of cool. And I'm curious to see what they do there. And then the Mandalorian and Grogu, they dropped the final trailer and also showed the opening scene of the movie. Got a positive response. I don't know. I got to see it first. I don't know, guys. Like, the second when they released that the full trailer, I was a lot more bought in than the teaser. And then I saw this one and I was like, okay, like, it still just looks like a long episode of the show, which, I mean, I like the show. So could this have been a straight to Disney Plus? Maybe. Grogu still ain't talking. Come on, man. If he don't talk in this movie, I'll be pissed.
He's gonna say the final line of the movie. He's gonna say the way this is, and then we're gonna cut to black.
Oh my God.
He loses his cuteness though if he starts talking, I guess. I don't know.
He'll talk like a baby, and it'll still be adorable.
Oh my
God.
Like
if he talks like, he's like, do baby voice than the way this is. You came up with that line. I can't do a baby voice.
No, I'm not doing the Tom Cruise impression.
No, he just actually he opens his mouth and it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson who has the voice. It's like, oh my god,
Chris Pratt, baby.
Oh no, woohoo! That's the final line of the movie. Then we had Hexed, Walt Disney Animation Studios' new movie about an outcast named Billy, voiced by Haley Steinfeld, and her Type A mom Alice, voiced by Rashida Jones. Really like the two of them being in this movie. Billy discovers she's a witch. Her and her mom go on a big adventure. Releases this Thanksgiving. They announced this initially back, I think it was at D23, and the main character was a boy, and they changed that. I mean, honestly, if it means we got Haley Steinfeld as the voice actress, cool with me. Some people were like weird about that, but whatever. I mean, I don't have an issue. Moana live action footage was shown. The Rock came out, says Maui was based on his grandfather. I'm gonna be real. I think maybe there's a little cat going on there, but I don't know. You know, I didn't make Moana, but I was like, we capping a little bit. The Rock, he's been kind of that little spotlight's fading a little. And then Ice Age Boiling Point footage was shown. Baby Scrat, I heard it looked terrible. I'm not gonna front. I heard the animation looked really bad.
Yeah.
Which is crazy considering this is the last one. And how many Ice Ages have there been?
I don't know. Too many.
I think there's been about 8 of these.
I was gonna say we're on like 5 now. I think. Hold on. Let me see.
6. This is the 6th.
This is the 6th one.
If you don't count the Christmas and Easter specials, why is there an Easter special for Ice Age? Make that make sense.
Yeah, they need to go ahead and wrap that up. Then you've got The Dog Stars, a new movie from Ridley Scott. That's got my interest peaked. Starring Jacob Elordi and an adorable Belgian Malinois.
Yeah.
First trailer shown online. And that also had Josh Brolin, right?
Yep.
Is he in that? Yeah, that one looks really good. Whalefall had a first trailer shown. That one I heard had some really good, people really like that one. Austin Abrams plays a scuba diver who is taken by an octopus, which is then eaten by a whale. Yeah, people were really hyping that one up, so I'm excited to see that one.
Interesting.
Wild Horse 9 footage was also shown, and then of course the big winner, the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Now they had Robert Downey Jr. come out, introduce this joint. They had a whole little end of the panel. Kevin Feige was there, the Russo brothers were there talking about it. Then they had Robert Downey Jr. come on stage, introduce that joint. The crowd went wild. I heard that one was easily the winner of CinemaCon. I'll just read
Soups all the way from my house. That's how hyped.
You just hear, let's freaking go! Super low. It's man, that boy is from Vegas here. I'll read the description here. It begins with Xavier at the ruins of the Xavier Institute, saying something is coming after seeing a bright light in the sky. We then see Doom in a shrouded profile. The footage then cuts to the Avengers Tower, and we see the Fantastic Four meeting the Avengers and Thunderbolts, and Shuri meeting Namor. This is also when Cyclops walks into the room. Thor says that he's fought many threats in his life, but this one scares him more than the others, which is crazy because we done got a teaser trailer of this man praying and putting his daughter to sleep, thinking that maybe he might not come back. We also see Shang-Chi versus Gambit, the Wakandans and Fantastic Four meet up, Mystique changing into Yelena, and Johnny holding Sue, Namor flying around, and then Thor jumping at Dr. Doom with Stormbreaker, who blocks the weapon with one hand. We also see Steve Rogers come back. He says, "Hey, pal." Thor responds, "It's not possible." Puts up his hand. Mjolnir is pulled from Thor's hand over to Steve Rogers. He's got long hair and a disheveled look. And Chris Evans joined them on stage. People were apparently cheering encore for this trailer, and they played it again, which is, I'm going to keep it real, man. That's just messed up, man. Y'all know us at home can't see this, and y'all got another view into that trailer? Man, that makes me a little hot.
He snuck meta glasses into this thing.
Apparently, y'all, I heard somebody took a picture and it flashed, and security was on them the minute that happened.
Oh yeah,
the second that happened, they were hey, you coming? Apparently, I heard another that they were like, we can end this whole thing right now. Like security was like, we'll end the damn panel. So they were like really crazy about no pictures. There ain't gonna be no leaks of that trailer. So if y'all are scouring the internet, it's all AI. Just letting you know that right now. Man, oh man. I mean, I'll just start this one off. Winner. I mean, this Amazon and Godzilla really were the three big winners of this convention, I think. I mean, you ended off, there's some things like I will say what's funny is that Dog Stars and Whale Falls sound like really awesome, and they're not like the big IP. So they also have a little bit of like non-big IP to show, which is great to hear that they've got a mix. I think maybe the only dud in this panel is I mean, oh, and the Moana, apparently they showed some footage from that. There was a little bit of You're Welcome. I think that's a little early to be making a live action version of that. So I'll say maybe that's a slight dud. And then the other dud from this panel was Mandalorian and Grogu, in my opinion. I just think they're trying really hard to push that on Mando and Grogu. And it's just, I don't know about y'all. Like maybe you guys are a little more excited. I'm not. I just think it could go straight to Disney Plus, which is ironic for me to say because I want Avatar to go to theaters and this to go straight to streaming. But I'm gonna say this is a big winner. I mean, this Toy Story 5 footage sounded good. The Doomsday trailer was the rock of that was the star of the show. I'm gonna go to you, Nate. What did you think about this one? Winner, loser, mixed?
Man, I'm gonna say this is a win. This is clearly a win. Look, Mike knows because I've been kind of ranting. I'm like, I feel like I've lost my enthusiasm for Doomsday. I'm like, Dune is obviously going to be better. I do still believe that, but like that trailer sounded incredible. Look, I'm always down for more Channing Tatum as Gambit. I wasn't like super. I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine for what it was. The best part of that movie to me was Channing Tatum as Gambit, which I know is an unpopular opinion, but that's me. I'm a
He works in the movie. I don't know if I want him as Prime Gambit. We'll see how they play it. We'll see how they play it.
Whalefall sounds completely up my alley. Dog Stars, that movie is going to make me sob. Toy Story 5 will also probably make me sob, but it's such a brilliant idea, and it's funny because Leo was saying it's like we're always like, why are you making another? And then you hear the story, and it's like, okay, that's clever. And it happened again, and this movie's gonna be another banger. The only time that franchise has missed, and I think we ignore it, is Lightyear, which we don't talk about. That's not canon.
Yeah, no.
Hey, he's not my Buzz. I don't care about Lightyear.
That part, not my Buzz, sir.
I remember I started quoting. I had a friend who always sends me the hottest takes, and he was like, "I'm seeing Lightyear," and I'm like, "You are?" And then I sent him a quote from J.K. Simmons in Whiplash, and I'm like, "If you say Chris Evans is better than Tim Allen, I will gut you like a pig." And he was like, "What?"
That is a scary threat if you've never seen Whiplash.
But yeah.
Please tell me he didn't say that though.
Oh, I did say that.
No, him. He didn't say that, right? That Chris Evans was better?
No, he didn't. No.
Okay, thank goodness. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
like for real. You gotta split up with that friend.
Yeah, no. I don't even like Tim Allen, but his best role is Buzz Lightyear. He's great as that. I mean, I'm just such a Toy Story feed. I mean, Mando and Grogu, I wasn't like super high on that trailer. I'm kind of mixed on that. Ice Age, Boiling Point, yeah, I heard the same thing about like the animation looking terrible. That franchise should have ended at Dawn of the Dinosaurs, which was a good movie, and I will stand by it. I'll always take more Scrat. I do like Scrat a lot, but I really don't care for like any of the other characters much, except Buck, the Simon Pegg, the Weasel guy. But he's not even in this one, so why would I care?
What? That's dumb.
But yeah, this is a huge win. Hex sounds good too. That's Mike's wife is in that movie.
Hey, no, that's Josh Allen's wife.
That's Josh Allen's lady now. Got a kid too. Ooh, it's over.
How much longer is Ice Age gonna last? It's gonna end soon, eventually, Tyler. I see your comments.
It took like 11 years between.
Nah, wasn't there a special in 2020 or something?
Oh yeah, that was when Baby Scrat came in.
See, this is that bullshit. I'm telling y'all, man. Ice Age, cancel it. This is it. I swear, I don't want no more Ice Age at the boiling point. Like you said,
no.
the dinosaurs one should have been it.
Actually, no. There was the other one. There was a spinoff which was with the Simon Pegg character, but I don't even think Simon Pegg was in it. And that one was supposedly like terrible, and the animation was terrible. And I think this is the same animation studio too, or it's like direct to DVD. Sorry.
Let's wrap up the Ice Age talk and talk about Avengers for the love of God.
No.
I'm on the
Ooh.
show, and I know the audience is like, "Can y'all talk about Doom, please?"
No.
Yeah, we got a couple questions here. By the way, what's going on, John Ali? We got some of the legendary Geekly Goods followers here. We got Lawrence Port in the house. What's going on, Heavenly Dumb? Hey, yo, what's up now?
The Avengers assembled in our chat.
Yeah, the Avengers came through, y'all. This is like a question we've been seeing. Yeah, about Mando and Grogu time. That's probably when it's gonna come out, because let's be real, they need to sell them tickets. I think you're right, Nate, on the point. They're probably gonna make it exclusive to theaters because I mean, they just need that money. They need that money for Mando and Grogu.
Again.
No.
They better not ever do that crap again, ever. Because I will say, I did love the X-Men one. I thought the Wakanda one was awesome. But my goodness, the Chris Evans one looked like a goddamn Calvin Klein ad. My goodness, I'm like, okay, now how y'all gonna have this man getting off the motorcycle and all that bullshit? But what was the other one even? Thor. That one was pretty solid too. You got this man praying for his life over Dr. Doom. That was pretty dope. But that could have all been one teaser trailer. Because weren't they all like about under a minute a piece? I'm like, just make one trailer after that.
Just stitch together and you're at like...
Get rid of the Chris Evans one and then stitch the other three together. You got about 2 minutes right there.
Yep.
Interested in Toy Story 5. Yep. Not excited for Grogu Mando. It's not just you, Lawrence Report. It's just, I think Star Wars, man, it's just unfortunate that the new trilogy just didn't sit well with everybody. Like, there were some people who loved The Last Jedi, some people who hated The Last Jedi. So that one was divisive. And then everybody pretty much did not like The Rise of Skywalker. There were maybe a couple of defenders out there, but I think we all kind of came together on that one and disliking it, which is not good for the brand. Then they went over to TV. Mando was so strong. I even like the third season. I know that's a little bit of a hot take, but the first 2 seasons, very strong. And then you had the Boba Fett show. Man, that one was bad. And then what else there? Oh, Ahsoka was okay. Like, so it's been kind of a roller coaster. Yeah, Obi-Wan was okay. Andor was fire. The Acolyte. Which one was the Acolyte, y'all? Oh, yeah, the one with Amandla Steinberg with the little twins and whatnot. That one, I actually thought that had some potential. I think when Daphne Keene's character was fighting against Homie, I was like, this is what I wanted from a Star Wars show. And then she gets cut down. Yeah, you know, Star Wars has been on a roller coaster, and then they kind of plopped this one in theaters, so it's a little, I don't know. But Nate, what was your thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday trailer?
I mean, again, I'm very much sold on it. I love just everything I'm hearing in it. I mean, look, we still don't know how the movie will turn out, but I'm like, okay, before I kept complaining to my guy, I was like, what is the story even going to be? How are they going to do this? I'm like, I think they probably have nailed it, even if it is. Like, I think it is just going to be the characters we saw in the chairs. And I think that's smart, plus Chris Evans. You know? I guess Ant-Man is also in this trailer, like a ton, which...
The reports are apparently it's very, like, obviously we're going to be taking from Secret Wars in this next 2 movies, but apparently we're doing a lot of Avengers versus X-Men as well.
Yes.
Where it's like those 2 factions are going to be at odds because maybe, again, like in Secret Wars and a lot of Marvel events, one Earth has to survive and another will die, and you have to fight for it. And so it's like,
Yep.
I think the X-Men universe is cooked. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of already hinted at that.
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how those two kind of play off each other.
Oh god.
Everyone's favorite MCU, Cassie Lang, is here to stop Doctor Doom. It's hilarious.
Hey, she took down MODOK. Why not?
No.
Why was that such like a big deal? I'm like, all the trades are running with this story. Like, discussing films got that as a post. She had a video.
I think the trades are just like, oh my gosh, something from Quantum Mania survived. Because think about like Kang coming back.
Kang didn't. Yeah, Kang ain't coming back.
Did Paul Rudd get a chair? I don't remember if he did.
He did. He got a smaller chair.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he got that little itty bitty chair.
Evangeline Lilly like retired. Well, first she went off kind of the political deep end, but now she's like retired. Like she had like a bad injury with like brain damage and everything. She's like, I can't act anymore, so she's not back.
Damn,
that's sad.
It's sad, man. Yeah, she was really anti-vax though. That was a little.
Yeah, no, that's
weird.
why I meant by political deep end. She was like, I think she's like buddies with RFK. So that's
boy,
not great.
Favorite pastime is them killing the X-Men one last time every few years, dude. For real, it's just like we always get the swan song for these characters. I'm like, okay, is this gonna be the real one? Is this the real swan song we have here? Because my goodness, we've been sending them off since X-Men Last Stand.
I have seen Patrick Stewart die so many times, bro, throughout my life. I am tired.
Is there going to be an audience cheer moment when Professor X dies again? They're like, yeah, he did it. He did the thing.
Professor X has won. I thought this was a weird little fact. Professor X has walked at least one time in every X-Men movie. And I think that's weird. But he's also died in like half of them.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Last Stand, Logan, Days of Future Past, Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing another one.
Technically, he died in Deadpool and Wolverine, too.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, all the X-Men died. Wolverine was the sole survivor.
He just died off screen that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did us a favor and kill him on screen again.
But, yeah, like, Doomsday, I'm just, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to figure out my feelings towards this movie. Because everything that we've heard about this footage has been stellar, which gets me excited because, yeah, I know we've been on the fence like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen here. They're kind of just, there's no build up to Doctor Doom at all whatsoever. But then we get comments from Feige and the Russo brothers of like, this is a sequel to Avengers Endgame and we're picking up right where we left off. And there's no mention of Sam Wilson. Anthony Mackie's not on stage. It's Chris Evans. And it's just like, we get the report, I think it was from like Deadline, that Hemsworth and Evans are like the two leads of the movie. And it's like, what did we do?
Well, they said two of the leads, my bad. They said like two of the leads, not the two.
That's encouraging, I guess, but I'm afraid that other lead is just going to be like RDJ and maybe Pedro Pascal.
I think I hear where you're coming from with this too, because I think like with Doomsday, it's kind of like the in-game follow-up, and Secret Wars is kind of like the Phase 4 and Phase 5 follow-up, which is a little weird, but I think they're going to execute it very well. Apparently, Anthony Mackie does have some time in the trailer. Now, in the initial descriptions, I didn't see anything about Anthony Mackie, but his character is on screen in the trailer, apparently. But I'm working on a video right now, and I'm like, has Marvel just forgotten about Sam Wilson? Because my goodness, man, the show wasn't great. Even though I really loved some things about the show, like Isaiah Bradley and that whole character, I think was a phenomenal piece of the show. Kind of to question Sam about like, oh, why fight for a country that doesn't fight for you? I really liked that storyline. I think that Cat 4 should have been Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I don't know why they made the show, and then Cat 4 kind of felt almost like hey, we have to make this movie because we have to make Sam Cap and we got to make people love him. And man, it just feels like they've forgotten all about him. It's a little unfortunate, but I will say about Marvel, I think they're on a hell of a tear between Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Daredevil Born Again. If Spider-Man Brand New Day is as fire as it sounds, that'll be a part of this tear. The Punisher special presentation, X-Men 97, and Avengers Doomsday. That's a run right there. Oh, and Wonder Man. Wonder Man was phenomenal.
Yes.
Shout out Doorman.
Such a great episode. They're on a tear. So Avengers Doomsday, I've got some faith in, but my bad, Mike. I kind of cut into you.
No, you're good, because that was going to be my question for you guys, because it's like, and I hear what you're saying, like the Secret Wars is going to be those newer characters stepping up and like finishing whatever fight this is. But I just think the marketing is so strange, where it's like we had this whole push of like so many people were doing the thing of Marvel should have stopped at Doomsday. I don't care about these characters, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, it's weird that the leader of the Avengers doesn't have his team of Avengers. Like, who is Sam's Avengers? That's just weird. And then Chris Evans comes back, and I know we had a comment saying like having Steve and John Walker in a scene is going to be amazing, and that is going to be funny. I'm sure this movie's going to be watchable. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, but I also am looking at the last 6 years of Marvel, and I'm wondering like what was all of that for then? And if that comes in the next movie, cool. We don't have any confirmation of that just yet, though. So I'm kind of like, everything that they've presented is like we're throwing it all away outside of Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was mentioned in this trailer. That's cool. Shuri's in this trailer. That's cool. But it's like, no.
Yelena's in the trailer as well.
Yeah. And I like the Thunderbolts. That team, I feel like they're gonna be jobbers. I feel like they're gonna get their butts kicked immediately.
Oh yeah, they're all super soldiers and stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, what are they gonna do? They couldn't do nothing against Sentry.
They
That's gonna be the
soloed
only
by
Thunderbolt who could do
Cyclops.
something.
And he's Bob right now. He can't do anything.
Yeah, and he's like afraid to become Sentry because if he does, the Void could come out. Yeah, and Doom's gonna probably end up using him. Yeah, I mean, you posed some great questions because I just think the only thing that could have enhanced Doomsday in this situation is they should have just made Secret Invasion into an Avengers movie. If they would have just had that be Shuri, Shang-Chi, maybe the Thunderbolts would get an early kind of look at them in that movie, and some of these other Phase 5 characters. They needed an Avengers movie. Sam Wilson leading the pack.
To your point, I do wonder if Doomsday, I think the reason it feels this way to me is because it kind of feels like, oh, we need to do something to get our audience back who left. Mm-hmm. And so we have to do this giant event when we could have just done Civil War 2. And we have the Thunderbolts.
No, please
Sam's
no.
Avenger. Not adapt the comic, but like.
Okay, I was like, please no.
We've got Sam's Avengers, and then we've got Yelena and Bucky's Avengers over here. And it's like, that's weird. Maybe make that a story of like those two teams either becoming one team of New Avengers, or you have a little discourse between the two. You can do a smaller movie to establish these newer characters and establish Sam as the leader of the Avengers, and then that's when you mix it up and bring the OGs back. I
heard his team is. This is what I've just heard. I don't know if this is confirmed. I heard his team is him, Falcon, Isaiah. Not Isaiah, my bad. Him, Falcon, Shang-Chi, and like several other characters. I think Thor's part of Sam's Avengers. Kind of weird, right? Because he's like doing his own thing in the trailer, but I think he is a part of Sam's Avengers. And then they said, weirdly, somebody said that Aquafina's character was part of Sam's Avengers. I was like, no, because she will get launched into the sun. Are you kidding me?
We already have an archer named Kate. What are we doing?
And then there's also this rumor going around that like the young Avengers will be the ones to help save the day in Secret Wars. And if that's them, Spider-Man, Deadpool and Wolverine, a couple other characters, I don't mind that, but I do want some more spotlight for Sam. I think Aquafina. This is the final scene of the movie, man. Like, there's no way Doom is gonna stop Aquafina. No way.
It's gonna be the Thor Ragnarok meme of like you can't defeat me, and Thor's just like I know, but I know someone who can, and it's just Aquafina. No, but like yeah, I just think we could have. There was no reason to rush to Doomsday. We could have just done like one more smaller event with these newer characters to establish them as the Avengers, and then we do Doomsday. That's my thing.
I think what and this is unfortunate. I think what happened is the major situation, bro. Like that was like kind of unfortunately timed. And then Ant-Man and Quantumania, I almost said, and the Wasp. I actually love Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania came out. It was not great. Why the hell was Kang in it? I mean, it just kind of like that happened. And then the Jonathan Majors thing happened and kind of like threw things into a frenzy. I just hope they're able to like really land this thing, like stick the landing. And I think they will. But I feel where you're coming from. I think that it just was some unfortunate timing on their part. They needed an Avengers movie though. If they could have just had one of these people with these people meeting up, just one, that would have been good. But Mike, where are you at the whole panel? Winner, loser, mixed?
Oh, massive win on Disney's part. Hex sounds really interesting. Ice Age, terrible as whatever. But Toy Story sounds fun. I do want to talk about Infinity Vision because that's weird.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, tell us about that.
So basically, and Nate could probably explain this a little bit better than me, so I want to toss it to him. But Marvel doesn't have IMAX screens for Doomsday, and I feel like this is them laying the groundwork. Be like, yeah, we may not have IMAX, but we've got this. Nate, do you know what's going on here? Because I still don't fully understand what Infinity Vision is.
They were very vague about it, but I think what it is they're like, here's these premium large format theaters that are in your area where you can still see Doomsday. So as you remember, Barbenheimer, which Doomsday I think is kind of the equivalent, except those two were completely different movies. These are going for the same. Besides that, during that time, Oppenheimer had all those IMAX screens. Barbie had Dolby. Even this past summer, Jurassic World and F1 came out separate. So like Avengers, I think Vision, what is it called again?
Infinity Vision.
Infinity Vision. Okay, that's a dumb name. Because it's not infinite. You don't have IMAX, and they could fix it if they pushed it up 1 week where there's IMAX screens available for them because Jumanji vacated it, but they won't.
Yeah, I think there are people who say Avengers should have moved forward. I think for the sake of IMAX, yes. I don't think it's like, oh man, Dune's coming out. I think for the sake of IMAX, it would have been beneficial for them to move ahead a week.
I want to see it in IMAX. And I mean, a lot of movie fans, not everybody lives. A lot of these big 4-quadrant movies, they don't make money from like the big movie coastal cities. They make it from, inner like America, middle America. Mm-hmm. We don't, it's hard to find. Like, I'm lucky where I have like an IMAX screen and Dolby screens near me. I don't have any other premium large formats. So like, what am I going to have to see it? Like, is, my local AMC going to put it in like the super small theater where it's like I'm watching it in my living room, except there's a dude on his phone who I don't know next to me. Like, I don't want that. Like, just move it up instead of making this really vague Infinity Vision thing, which is just going to be like an app probably on my phone that's going to say, no, there's no 40x screens
for real
for
near
like
you
400 miles. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I knew that. Like, I don't know what this is. It's not a new like format. And it's just like, well, you go on a theater's app to let you know what format. You go on Google and it will tell you what format to find it.
Mm-hmm. It's just a way to market, basically, like, hey, we have premium formats. We don't have IMAX, but you can find all the premium here on this app. Yeah, it's goofy. I'm not worried about Doomsday. I'm actually a little worried about Dune Part 3 coming out the same day, and then Jumanji. Jumanji might get swallowed up, and all of this. I'm like, this is crazy for them to even consider coming out right now between these two.
It's interesting because I think Jumanji could have been fun counter programming to Dune. But I think that's what Avengers is going to do. So like
exactly
that family audience is going to go to the Marvel movie, and the Jumanji movie might get lost, and that's it's gonna
100%. Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because it's the families and those rewatches with the kids and all that. They want to see Avengers Doomsday. The kids don't necessarily want to see Dune Part 3. They do want to see Jumanji. So is it possible that Dune Part 3 takes some hits from those two movies being out while it's showing? I know it will have the premium IMAX format, so it'll make money from that. But I'm a little worried about Dune 3 actually being around those two movies, just because that's the one outlier out of those three. It's the one that's like the deep, heady sci-fi. It's got a big fan base. A lot of that fan base will also be at Doomsday, and the families and the kids will be at Doomsday as well.
I will say the last Dune movie made almost $1 billion, and it is beloved. It's a huge, massive thing, and it has a starry cast. Obviously, I think Doomsday is going to make more money than Dune. I wouldn't even be, maybe this is blasphemy, but maybe even Jumanji makes more money. Those movies also make near the same range as the last Dune made. You know, who knows? And Christmas is a time where movies can compete against each other. But I think it's the fact that Avengers, unlike Barbenheimer, which are like two polar opposite movies, I compared it like to the boys' toy and the girls' toy that you could get in like Happy Meals.
Yes.
This is like you get two boys' toys, and that's like it's the same people who are going to see both movies. Doomsday's going to skew younger, but they're going to eat into each other, you know. And I think actually, even though I think Doomsday is going to make more money, and I think it's obviously going to clear like $1.5 billion, I think that Doomsday is a movie that can make $2 billion, but it's not going to, because I think Dune is going to take away business. And I mean, who knows if Dune 3 is going to make as much as Dune 2, because Doomsday took away some of its business. They're going to eat into each other, versus if Doomsday came out a week early, it could open huge. All of the past Avengers movies have had huge drops. Look at Endgame. That movie opened with over like 300 million. It was like 350. Its second weekend drop was like, I think it opened under 100 million in its like second weekend. I think it was like 90 million or something.
Yeah.
Just do that, because Marvel movies always have a history of being front loaded. It can have that drop, but then over the Christmas holiday, there's going to be people seeing it, and it will have steady legs, and all of these movies can thrive. But it's Disney's, like, they don't want to look like the lesser, but like by Warner Brothers releasing those IMAX tickets that early for Dune 3, the 70 millimeter, that was them doing their I don't want to like get you demonetized, so their big blank energy, that was like Warner Brothers being like, we're not moving. Don't tread on me, Disney. Something like that. I don't know why Warner Brothers is libertarian, but whatever.
Here's the thing about Dune 3 that I'm really concerned about. To see the full vision of Dune 3 in IMAX and everything, it is going to be the most expensive out of these three. And if you've got a family, you're going to be more considering the Avengers movie that, oh my God, it's all the Marvel movies coming together. There's going to be a lot more skewing over toward that. I just wonder how these box office finals are going to look. Like, that's all I'm wondering. I'm like, Jumanji might even be a bomb. I mean, The Rock, really? That star has kind of dulled. I mean, Jack Black's still up there.
I'd say Jack Black's stock is actually up.
Yeah, yeah. Jack Black is like, after Mario and Minecraft, he's like going to the moon.
I think he's like the draw now. Before it was like, oh, it's The Rock, but now it's like, oh, people are going to go see Jack Black.
Anaconda didn't do terrible this past Christmas. It was not a good movie, but it did decent.
I think that Avengers is going to win, obviously. But I think Dune is playing with house money. It's the last movie in this trilogy. And so I think Warner Brothers is like, hey, we're going to go out with a bang. The last one made $700 million or so. The budget is also not crazy high. It's not Avengers level high. So like if they just sit in that $500 million range, I think they're fine. They make their budget back. It's not going to set the world on fire. But I think it can still hit 500 mil with the Avengers there, which is less than the third. But you know, I don't think it's going to outperform the second Dune. Excuse me. I guess to me the question is Jumanji, because Jumanji is also the last one made like $800 million. That movie was huge. It ain't touching that. It ain't touching that with Avengers and Dune right there. But
absolutely not.
I think it can still make a decent profit. And I mentioned this in Discord, our Discord server the other day. But they reported budget for Doomsday is like 500 mil. And so, and I'm not even sure if that included the marketing budget yet. The Avengers movie is the thing that's concerning about its profitability. Like all of these movies are gonna make money, but I think Dune and Jumanji have a higher chance of turning a profit. Whereas these Avengers movies cost so much. You just saw what happened with Avatar the other day, where it's like James Cameron's like, I don't know if we made enough money to do the next one. It's like, you made almost $2 billion. What do you mean you didn't make enough money for the next one?
Well, apparently they're full steam ahead on them next ones. They're like, let's get these out. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a battleground in December, and I don't think any of us know, besides Doomsday winning, I don't think any of us know what else is going to happen. Like, is Dune going to make the amount that it made with 2, or will it be closer to 1? Is Jumanji just going to get dusted? Who knows? But y'all, CinemaCon 2026. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to say, you know what Secret Wars is going up against?
Tell the audience.
The Hunt for Gollum. And that one is so much easier because Mike was the one. Explain about the Tolkien fans, what makes them so different.
Yeah, so fans of Lord of the Rings, they just will not show up.
Yeah.
If they don't vibe with what you're advertising,
the anime movie,
the Rings of Power, they just be like, yeah, you know what? I got my 3 movies. I'm good. Comic book fans are different, where it's like even now it's like we want Supergirl to be good. We're gonna go see it anyway, even if we're not vibing with it. I want Doomsday to be good. I'm still gonna go see it, even though I've got questions about it. Lord of the Rings fans will be like, nah, man, why would I go see that? That sounds like it sucks. So Hunt for Gollum will either make $2 billion or it will make negative $15. That's where we are right now.
Ugh. You know, I'm hoping for their sake it does okay. But being next to Secret Wars, it might want to move, y'all. But y'all, that is
not take the IMAX screens. Sorry to interrupt.
They might.
No.
They're gonna try to make that money. WB is gonna be like, if Doom Part 3 does a decent, like if it does a decent amount, they're gonna be like, all right, we know what we need to do next time.
Oh.
This is fair.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's become a good actor. Belfast. Jamie Dornan now.
I like Jamie Dornan. I don't know that I'm that interested in this film, though. I'll be honest.
No, I'm not.
Not at all.
No, I'm not sold.
Stream though, guys.
Very good stream, y'all. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our CinemaCon 2026 major recap. Y'all, let's go around the horn, let the people know where they can find you and what's coming up on your channel. Starting with you, Nate. What you got coming up, man?
Well, you can find me on Substack. I recently launched that back in January. It's at Nate Richard, the Movie Hound. I also write for Film Yap. I just posted a review yesterday there for the new Bob Odenkirk movie, Normal, which you can read my thoughts there on Substack.
Be sure to check out Nate's Substack, y'all. That information will be in the bio. And Mike, where can the people find you? What you got coming up?
Yeah, you can find me and Nate at Insider Chatter. We're talking movies every few weeks here and there. You can also, if you're watching on Novice Cinephile, hit the sub button. If you're watching on Geekly Goods, go check out my channel, The Novice Cinephile. I've got some video essays in the works. You guys voted for My Hero Academia, so I've got to talk about my boy Deku. We get one more episode in 2 weeks, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, just on YouTube, on TikTok, Twitch occasionally, just talking movies nonstop. It's going to be fun the next few weeks because we got to talk about Daredevil. We got to talk about The Boys. We got to talk about Invincible. That Invincible finale, I think, is going to be crazy next week, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for it, y'all. Definitely be sure to follow these lovely creators on their wonderful platforms. And y'all, if you're new to Geekly Goods, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We drop movie news all day, every day here, 7 days a week on the channel. So definitely be sure to tune in. And we'll be back next time, y'all. Definitely come back Friday evenings, and we'll be back with another one next week. Same time, same place, 8:30 CT, 7:30 MT, 6:30 PT, and 9:30 ET, y'all. Definitely be sure to join us. And thank y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.